mystery at this hour. Where in the world is Anthony Scaramucci?
Where is he? Did he get voted out?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. That's not this show. That's not this show.
But nobody knows what's going on?
Nobody knows where he is. It's a mystery as of this hour.
Did he show? He didn't show up to Big Brother? Tell us the backstory to this. None of us.
He was on the show, and then the live feeds came on, and he's not there. Hold on. I've got this playing in another room. Hold on. Let me just go turn off the other computer.
Okay.
Danny, you steer the ship, okay?
Danny.
Okay. Yes.
Make sure to wrangle me so that I don't get off on.
I know how much you like to just go off on crazy tangents.
Yeah. Okay.
You've been watching The Bachelor?
Yeah.
And?
Colton's not my favorite Bachelor.
Yeah, but is he better than Ari?
Debatable.
Are you serious? It's not debatable at all.
This is when I wish that they had either done like 10 of the most sexually active women in the world and 10 women who wear chastity belts. And
they couldn't get those women because they were working out at Sex Island during the time of The Bachelor.
Too bad those two jobs coincided with each other.
The problem is, the reason he's better than Ari is because they try to make The Bachelor look as sexy as possible. And with Ari, that was an impossible.
Yeah, because he was too old.
Well, no, not just that. He had a derpy look, which I'm not saying that derpy's bad. I'm just saying that was his look.
Yeah, he would walk in with like pigeon-toed or duck-footed and be like, hi. And they're like, that's the least athletic walk we've ever seen anybody.
Yeah, exactly. That man could barely lift a box.
Okay. All right. I think we should be pretty much ready to go. Anything you guys want to say before we start the real podcast?
Yeah. I want to talk about when did I searched all week after our podcast, like almost every other day for that documentary. Did they just post it on Sunday?
On Friday.
Okay, because that must have been when I stopped watching it. I did watch it, but
which one did you watch?
Netflix.
Okay. I was gonna say, I thought you were saying that you didn't do your homework, Danny.
I did. I watched it this morning. I got up early.
About to lose my shit.
Like, do you make me watch this documentary for nothing?
Anyway, I don't want to spoil all the goods. So,
okay. All right. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We've got a lot to talk about here on this episode of News AF. Not only are we going to talk about lasagna gender reveals, we'll also have a debate between what was the better Fyre Festival documentary.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Tell me when to record.
Okay, yeah, my gosh, yeah.
All right, let's hit the recording. Let's start the recording for the podcast.
First, I'm opening. Like, I'm not even there.
Oh, you're opening? Then let me take a leak real quick.
Okay. All right. Danny, Tyson is going to go take a pee break.
We were talking about The Bachelor while you were gone.
Yeah, no, I heard it was. I was going to go. I had to go turn off. The speaker was on in the other room.
Oh, so you could hear it.
Okay, I could hear what you guys were saying. But you don't like it?
At least this last episode, they didn't endlessly talk about virginity.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just exhausting.
What's his problem?
What? This football player, Colton? Actually, I think he's reasonable. My wife says she can't stand looking at him.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like I was saying with Ari. They try to make him look as sexy as possible, but he's kind of a bulky dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a lot
Quadrosaurus.
Yeah, actually, she did point out. She said, "I think his thighs are bigger than yours."
Yeah,
I said, "There's pants for." Well,
does he? What did he just talk? Do the girls ask him a lot about his virginity
at the beginning? This last episode, I think they realized that everybody was getting tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they front loaded the season with the questions about it, and then now we can move on.
I loved it. I think they should keep talking about it more and more and more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The issue is he says that he just like he didn't have time to ever meet anybody. He was
basically
too busy being a football player that nobody ever heard of.
Yeah. That's another thing.
I got to really focus on my very underwhelming football career.
The last thing we need is another Underwood on TV.
This is what bothers me about it, is that they talked about Ari as being like a race car driver you'd never heard of. And then they bring in a football player you'd never heard of, but they have to talk him up like he was a football player. And it's just frustrating every time he refers to it. You're like, dude, I don't even know who you played for. What, the Chargers?
I don't know.
Is that?
It would be if the story was like, hey, I wanted to be a football player, but I really could not get anywhere because I was so busy dating. Then I could get.
Or I wanted to be
that.
a football player, but they wouldn't let me because I was a virgin.
Yes, the hazing.
Yeah.
The hazing was too tough. All these teams. Okay. All right. All right, you guys ready?
You're a virgin. That means you probably haven't committed a bunch of domestic abuses. You can't be in this league.
I don't think that's how it works. Okay. All right.
Should I start recording now?
Yeah, let's start recording.
I am recording.
Unfortunately, I recorded all that. Okay.
That's okay.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was underwhelming.
Should we try again?
Okay. No, that's fine. It's fine.
I was wondering why you were counting it. Only at 3 did I realize I was supposed to.
Scott St. Pierre can put it all together. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Let me go ahead and hit the music for this. Okay.
Feeling good today.
All right. Let's go from here to this. Okay. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Cesternino back again to talk about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of January 23rd, 2019 here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yes, that's right. Here we are back again here on a Wednesday to talk about the midweek news, everything that's going on in the world. And we're very excited to have back with us here once again, fashion model, television star, just got off the shoot of yet another commercial. Here is Mr. Tyson Apostle. Tyson, how are you?
I'm great. Just got back from St. George, Utah, representing Tall Slim Tees.
Yes. What are Tall Slim Tees?
They're a T-shirt that's a little bit longer and also slim for the taller, slimmer gentlemen. Because you can go to the big and tall store if you're big and tall. But what if you're tall and small?
Tall and small. That's what these are for?
These are for tall and small guys. Like I'm skinny.
Tall and thin.
I'm tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not tall and small guys.
Or you can just buy tall shirts and bulk into a bigger size.
That was the only option before.
Yeah.
But now there's this other option. And it's actually great because I'm 6'3", and my routine throughout my entire life has been wash my medium or small T-shirts in cold. And then when I get them out of the wash machine, I stretch them by hand to give them an extra length and then hang dry them. But now these shirts, there's a few inches added to the bottom of them. Perfect.
Yeah. This is like the opposite of the Quadrosaurus jeans that we talked about last week from Gong Show.
Proof again that there's something for everyone.
Something for everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a man who is waiting for the most vascular shirts to come out. Please welcome the great Danny Bryson. Danny, how are you?
Doing well, but Tyson, I just want to point out that there is one downside to being average everywhere, is that everything you want is sold out, and you never get bargain items. Like, I'm always looking for items that are on sales, and I'll find something. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, this is perfect. But then you'll go, of course, they're not going to have it in my size because medium's always gone. Whereas I think that you can occasionally find some really cheap, good gear that's tailored to only people of your size.
That's true, but there's not a lot of things that are tailored only to my size because I also wear a medium or now lately a large. But shoes are one thing that I always find on sale because I wear a 9. And average size is like a 10.5 or 11, I think. So I always find shoes on sale for me.
Couldn't you buy your clothing from countries that have people more your stature? You know,
what other countries are known for being tall and slim?
Norwegians. I think some of those Scandinavian countries have taller people who are also slim. It seems like you could go and order clothing from them, and they'll have a wide selection of people.
But why would I do that when I have tall, slim tees here?
Yeah,
because then you could be a snobby Euro clothing wearer.
But honestly, these tees, if you're tall and slim, they do fit perfect. It's crazy, and they don't have that droopy like like, all the young kids are wearing those shirts that have like the half moon shape cut out on the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
I didn't know that either.
So the shirts at the bottom now, they're shaped like they're not straight across. They're like, I'm sure there's a word for it, but I am too old to wear that. It's like drop crotch pants of t-shirts.
Yeah.
I can't wear those. I'm too old. I just want something that's just like.
And why is that? Why does that come down in the front? Is that to
and back, front and back,
front and back? Is that to hide any stains that could be on your pants?
No, I don't think so. But it could hide the stains. I'm not saying it couldn't, but I think it's just the style. They want long shirts, but they are cut like a dress shirt at the bottom.
Yeah, I like more of a midriff.
You know what I'm going to do?
I would if I had abs like you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, here's an idea for if you want, we could do the long shirts and then put in 2 little snaps so that you can snap them in your crotch area and turn your t-shirt into a onesie.
Yeah.
Like
a bodysuit.
A bodysuit.
Yeah.
So if your pants get dirty,
that's
but
$1
you still
million
want to be
idea.
modest, you just
Oh,
the
sloth
snaps at the
terrarium.
bottom.
Here we come.
Mhm.
Want me to tell you something?
Sure.
Yes.
There's 1 or 2 listeners right now who are fuming that we haven't gotten to the news yet.
Oh,
Okay.
The others are enjoying our banter.
Yeah, I follow the chat. I just wait to see if I was like, please get to the news already. Try to see.
that's
We
all right.
haven't
Some
heard it
people
yet.
need to know what's going on in the world, and
Okay.
I can understand that.
What's
All right,
going on, though? Tall Slim Tees is going on.
That's what's
Yeah,
going
but
on.
only in your world. They want to talk about things that may influence them, especially if they live near.
All right, let's get to our top story at
Sounds like
this
we had a
hour. We are on the forefront of baby gender reveals, and a new one is
we've always
sweeping
been
the world by storm. Baby gender reveal lasagna. The new way to reveal your baby's gender. Danny, would you be interested in inviting the crew over to your house to reveal the sex of your baby in utero by way of lasagna?
Gross. What better way to celebrate the birth of a child than presenting people with food that looks very similar to the birth of a baby, like the general color and
All the meat and stuff.
all the meat. This is a terrible idea. Not as bad as the people who started the fire in Texas with the gender reveal bomb that set the prairie on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So this is nice, but still disgusting.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, nobody cares. You're having a baby, boy or girl, unless you live in China, nobody really cares.
Yeah. Now, if you're having a girl, doesn't it kind of look mostly like a normal lasagna, Danny?
No, because it's lighter pink.
Lighter pink.
Yeah.
It's like
I will tell.
penne alla vodka lasagna.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Here's what I'm going to say. This company who's selling these paid the New York Post $85 million to post this thing like it's some new fad. There's one person who's ever cut into one of these lasagnas, and you're looking at her in this photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So
Nobody's buying this garbage.
I've had a reveal very similar to this lasagna. This one in the picture.
What was it?
Once at Scouts, the Scout leader gave us all donuts, and I bit into mine, and I asked him if they were supposed to be blueberry filled, and he said they were supposed to be raspberry, but he had them for so long that they had become moldy, and that's exactly the color of the raspberry filling right there. So it was a reveal that I was eating mold. Very similar.
Well,
Yeah.
why did he even serve those to you if they were that old?
Because he was an old person. They don't know.
Oh, they keep on. They keep everything. It's true.
Dear, what do we have in the pantry to give these Scouts?
We've got a brick of ribbon candy all stuck together.
We've got some hardtack, some jerky, and this box of donuts.
I didn't know we had jerky. It didn't used to be jerky.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Old people, man.
How
My
does
my mom will eat expired food all the time.
how expired?
Sometimes years.
Would she
Years.
eat this lasagna?
She'd taste the lasagna, I bet. But like, if it's sealed up in a can, she's like, those expiration dates are just for show, and she'll
It's all
just eat it.
scam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is she's still healthy, so I guess she's right, and I'm the idiot. But still, like cutting into a can that's like 2 years past the expiration, you got to be a little bit nervous.
Well, I think that there's 2 different dates. There's like an expiration date and a best used by date, and I'm not sure if necessarily if that's like mutually exclusive.
By the way, I'm gonna go back to this story and say that Rob pointed out that the best gender reveal is the one that happens the day the baby is born.
Yes.
Rob said that months ago, and I think that's the only reveal that is exciting. This stuff
nobody's
is just
excited about this.
Nobody wants to eat that lasagna, and nobody really cares
wants to be there, and everybody has to feign excitement as you're like, oh, cool. I knew it was going to be one of the two.
Yeah.
And you have to pretend, you have to console the woman or man when they don't get the gender they were hoping to get. They have to hide their tears from all the people.
I told you when we drove around trying to find somebody who would do an early gender thing for me and Rachel. So we were, our first daughter, Bergen, we were told that we were going to have an ultrasound like at week 16. So we were both thinking, oh, this is when we find out the gender of the baby. So we told everybody, oh, we're going to find out the gender on this day. But we weren't doing a reveal party. We were just like fielding questions as people texted. We're like, okay, what is it? And then we'd be like, oh, this is what it was. So we go there and they do an ultrasound, but they're like, we're not going to tell you the gender yet. We wait till like 22 weeks. And you're like, what? And they're like, we can't really tell and we're not sure. So we don't say anything. So we found this place in Salt Lake. So everybody was texting us. I was like, now we got to go do it. So we went to the mall in Salt Lake where they have these places that are exclusively doing gender ultrasounds. So we go in and Rachel was sure it was a boy. And we were both hoping-ish for a boy, but it didn't really matter that much, you know? And we go in and the woman is like, it's a girl. And you could see the look on Rachel's face of just like she had somehow convinced herself it was for sure a boy. So she just kind of was like, oh. And the lady was like, it's very healthy and happy. And she's like, I know. And she's like, I have to tell some people that there's not a heartbeat. And Rachel's like, oh yeah, no, I'm stoked. And we walk out and Rachel just starts sobbing in the mall. Now some hero dude's going to come up and punch me in my face for making this girl cry. And I'm like, don't cry here. You can't cry in public. That's a thing you can't do when you're with a spouse anymore. You have to come with me to the parking lot in the car. Then we have to drive away. And then it's okay to cry as much as you want. But here with everybody watching with me standing here, it's really going to turn bad for me it could be anybody. It could be like the worst criminal in the world could come up and just punch me in the face with brass knuckles and be like, you're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome, ma'am.
I know a couple also that had the gender reveal party and then it turned out that there was a mistake, that they got it wrong.
Yeah,
they had the gender reveal party for a boy and then the baby is a girl.
Yeah, that happens too. And to be clear, we were very excited to have Bergen and to have a baby girl, but Rachel had hyped up and convinced herself it was a boy for some reason. And so that to her was just like, she couldn't wrap her mind around that because she'd already convinced herself and prepared for having a boy.
Look, I think it's very exciting for the expecting parents to find out
the only person.
Those are the only people.
The problem with the party is it's like, hey, we're excited about this, and now everybody else has to pretend to be. You know, I'm sure maybe the grandparents, maybe like if you have a nice sibling, they're interested. But I think that, you know, to get the gender reveal party to more than 8 guests, I think a lot of people are faking
Somebody's not having a good time.
Who started this trend?
Not having a good time.
This has only been going on for like what, 2-3 years, maybe. I mean, mainstream.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, probably in the fringes for more than that. But it's just becoming more and more popular to do.
You know why?
Why?
Because photos of these are like some of the most popular photos on Instagram.
It's the gram. Yep. It's the gram.
Instagram dictates every stupid little tradition that we have in our lives.
I'll agree with that. You got to make a video out of everything. And so here's another way to make a moment that you can take pictures of and post.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the baby gender reveal lasagna, I guess it comes for $140 if you want to order this.
Oh my gosh, $140.
May as well just go to Nobu.
Yeah.
What about some gender reveal sushi?
Oh my, because it's all pink. Is there a blue type? I mean, food coloring. You can
get blue sushi.
Yeah.
I think so.
Break open that California roll. See that blue shrimp in the middle or whatever.
That blue minced crab or whatever they got
Yeah,
going
crab,
on.
that's right.
Yeah,
Crab.
that you can order this. There is one particular restaurant that is doing this. You could order this from catering from a restaurant.
No. Don't tell the name because that's all they
don't.
want.
Also, don't go to
I
this
think it's from a restaurant called Villa, and it is in I believe this is in the New Jersey area. For $140, you get the gender reveal lasagna plus salad, either garden, Caesar, or Greek.
I guarantee you this restaurant is going to see a drop in the number of people attending who are not having gender reveals.
Could you just
Are
get
salads also colored?
Yeah. Could you get the regular lasagna and then the salad dressing is either blue cheese or Russian?
Yeah. Or Thousand Island.
Thousand Island, maybe that could be good. Either one.
It's obnoxious when they sing happy birthday at a restaurant. How much more obnoxious is it when you have to be part of a gender reveal that's happening in the table right next to you?
Mm-hmm. Why, do you sing at a gender reveal?
They probably do. They probably should we write the gender reveal song and we can make millions off of royalties.
Oh, dude, yeah, and then make it not open.
Oh yeah, not open source. Yeah,
Not open source, closed source, and just be like, "What gender is it? What gender is it? What gender is it? You'll never know until you pop this thingy open. That's how you find out the gender."
Yeah. I've never been to a gender reveal party, but I feel like it must be, a lot of just like waiting, like, so what time are they doing this at? What is it? It's 4 now. What are they going to do it at 6?
As you describe it, I feel like I'm already there. I know that situation well. Like, well,
It's worse than New Year's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way worse.
All right. We talked a couple of weeks ago, or a couple months ago at this point, around Halloween time, about the Coffin challenge. But there is a new sci-fi film, Danny, which is being shown inside of a coffin. Would you be interested in this experience?
What's the situation? Can you set this up? Because if it's a coffin and there's other people around, I'd be too paranoid that someone would actually put me in the ground while I was watching the movie. Like if I was in my own personal coffin that I have in my living room watching it in the privacy of my own home, I'd feel okay. But with other people around, I don't want to be part of a prank.
Okay, so at the Gothenburg Film Festival in Sweden, volunteers were asked to watch the apocalyptic sci-fi film Aniara.
Okay.
And they're calling this a sarcophagus screening. Now, Tyson, you were going to get some Scandinavian clothes. Would you be interested in traveling to Sweden to view this new film in a coffin?
I would not travel to Sweden just for that. And also, I would also have my reservations about getting in the coffin like Danny and having somebody on the exterior be in control of it.
Yeah.
So, but if there was more to do in Sweden, like if they were like all expense paid trip, 2 weeks in Sweden, and this is the only thing you have to do, for sure I would be there.
Yep. I'm there too. Just me and Tyson, we'll go for a package deal.
Why do we need to watch the movie in a coffin?
Because it's like a 4D experience where maybe there's like I am assuming the film is quite claustrophobic. And so this just adds to that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind the idea. I think if it is what if the film was actually about people ending up in coffins, then for sure you're going to want to have seen it in a coffin.
Yeah, and they've talked about releasing smells during movies to kind of put you there.
Do it through Soaring California.
Okay, there you go. And then, so this is just another way to immerse yourself in the film. Especially this one is about, this is science fiction about some space travelers, colonists.
Yeah.
Traveling through space, which I love sci-fi. So I'm there. Maybe I'll go, if it's a package deal with me and Tyson, Tyson will stand guard over my coffin while I watch. And then I'll do that for him when it comes his turn to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Do we trust each other enough to do that?
I trust you, especially with how comfortable you'll be with your new Scandinavian clothing that fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if anybody tries this out and can let us know. This is a story that we really wanted to talk about this week. We talk a lot about Chinese social media on this show. It happens to be one of the areas that we really pay a lot of attention. And Tyson, there's a new Chinese app which is going to alert you, sort of like, I believe this is how some apps like Grindr function, where they have sort of like a GPS feature where they could, you could be alerted to other people. This is an app that will tell you if you are within 500 yards of someone that is in debt. Not in debt to you. This is an app that tells you if you are in debt to anybody.
But here's the best part. So you could see if they're living it up while in debt.
Yes.
That's the best part. So you can report them if they appear to be not, giving themselves self-flagellation while they walk down the street in rags. If it looks like they're living it up, you can report them.
If they're buying like baby turtle breakfasts and stuff. Something that we saw.
Is that the breakfast of rich champions?
Probably not. Yeah. But I mean, it could go both ways. I think that, this is probably a way for people to like really be scared into paying their debts, but also, should we be knowing all of our neighbors' debts?
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Number one, do you think that this doesn't actually work? It's just a way to trick people that are in debt to like, hey, stop wasting your money and pay your debt because we have an app to catch you.
How many people have phones, and how many people have them on them all the time? And if you're in debt in China, you might not even have enough money to even buy a phone.
No, because even when you're in debt, the one thing you must own in the modern world is a phone. That's why you see homeless people with iPhones.
Yeah, but it has to be a smartphone that has a GPS locator and stuff on it.
Every phone is
It could also just be an address of where the person lives. Like maybe it doesn't track the person per se. Maybe it just is their last known whereabouts.
I would love to see the pop-up that asks you if you want to opt in. Like, would you like to provide us with your financial details to opt into this debt shaming scheme?
Of course, they're going to say yes.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
I think you're assuming that they give them.
I know it's China.
Okay, good. As long as we establish that.
Yeah. In theory, I think that this is an interesting idea, but I do think that it does. It's a slippery slope, Danny.
I would like this here just because I've been in several arguments with my wife. When we drive by or she talks about people who seem to have it all, I say, no, you don't know that they have money. They could just as likely have a ton of debt. And it'd be nice to be like, open up the app and be like, see, I told you, they don't have it all. They're living under extreme pressure through debt, and I'm going to report them right now, increase the weight on their shoulders.
Looks like they can afford to pay back their debts with all those boats that they've got.
Exactly.
Now, what would constitute somebody living it up, Tyson? Like, if you see somebody walking through the mall and they've got Dippin' Dots, is that like, they didn't need to stop and buy a snack?
I think that's okay, but if they've got like a Jordans, a bag with Jordans.
Yeah, this is China. The guy's got a new pair of pants and some shiny sneakers. It's time to report him.
To report him. Yeah, because you don't know necessarily hey, they're driving a nice car, but maybe that's what they got in debt buying.
It's true. It could be.
Look, like all social media, you don't want to get into the nitty-gritty details that will tell you the truth. You just want to get an overall view of it and then impose your own biases. And
your own views. And then
you're like, I'll just make a ton of assumptions.
Yeah. Show your outrage. Whatever little information you have to go off
Exactly. That's what social media is for.
Okay. Here's the other thing, Tyson. Now, you have said that you think that public shaming is a great way to modify people's behavior. Do you think that is the appeal of the app where that you get to go
the
on?
App is not appealing, but I think that yes, definitely the public shaming aspect of it is what's going to get people to correct.
But do you think that people will want to get this app so they can find the people in debt and then be part of the narking on the debtors?
Well, this is designed by the Chinese government to get people to watchdog each other, because when you can get that, then nobody can be truly united.
Everybody lives in fear.
Yeah, and that way it's like it's not Big Brother that's doing the policing now. Now it's each other, and then you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Yeah, but what do you get if I see Danny is drinking popping bottles of Chris in his front yard, and I narc on him. What do I get? Do I get something? Do I get points?
Then
satisfaction.
No, you should get a reward of some sort, and then only then, if you get a reward of some sort, then it makes sense.
Well, you could first of all, 2 facts that we haven't covered. One, this is only being released in a small provincial district in China, so it's not nationwide.
Yeah.
The other one is that I think that it's an add-on to Weibo or WeChat, one of those 2 services. So it's not like a standalone app. I don't think. I think it's something you can add on. I'm not sure how it works, but I think that they have a system where if you tie it into the citizen score, your citizen score
bumps up.
Then you have something that makes it worthwhile to report people, other than just the satisfaction of being able to destroy other people's lives if you don't like them.
Right. So the people that are in debt should only be, living glamorously in private.
Yeah, that's what it'll do. It'll take everyone who's living these glamorous debt lives and move them into their living rooms where they can just shelter themselves and, buy tons of stuff off of Alibaba or whatever it's called and just live it up in their house.
Which is good because I think that people, try because of all of the Instagram, social media sharing of like, hey, I'm living it. And we'll talk about this when we get to the Fyre Festival documentary reviews. Too many people that can't afford to go to places like the Fyre Festival or just want to go there to be seen. And then this will cut down on that.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. All right.
This is what's going to make it awesome is if they instituted that in the US, but it was linked only to people's Instagram accounts. So then you could see when somebody's like, I'm in Bali, I've been here for 18 months. And then you're like, they're $850,000 in debt.
Yep.
And then you report them and they're not allowed to take any extravagant photos
or to post.
They can only post stuff that's below the poverty line or something like that until they change their ways. But once you hit rock bottom, then you're allowed to post whatever you want as a reward for being on the rock bottom.
Okay. Now, Tyson, would you be interested in participating in the Chuck Norris 5K?
Yes, I would, but I would not pay entry for it.
Okay.
I kind of wonder if this is Chuck Norris rounding up all of his doppelgangers to eliminate them.
Do you think so? Or he wants to round them up to fool everybody?
One or the other.
Anyway, to have a ranch of Chuck Norrises just wander in the open range.
Yeah.
Open range Chuck Norris.
We haven't even talked about the story yet.
Okay. In San Antonio, they are rounding up all of the people who want to look like Chuck Norris to set the world's record for the most people to be in one place dressed as Chuck Norris. And then they are going to run a 5K on May 4th, Star Wars Day.
So may the fourth be with them.
This first started off as like, let's just get all these Chuck Norris wannabe lookalikes together. And then they were like, that's not enough. Let's just throw in a 5K. Like, it feels like the 5K was an add-on later when they're like, well, we got to make this for, something, some kind of an event. We can't just have them, as Tyson describes, roaming the prairie, a bunch of Chuck Norrises. Why the 5K? It's so pointless. You're going to travel all the way to San Antonio to run 5K? Look like Chuck Norris?
Yeah. So?
Yes.
Oh, you're going, Rob?
I'm thinking about checking it out. That they have, it says here in the article that please note organizers are not responsible for any injuries that might occur from allowing Chuck Norris to give you a high five because he will be there waiting at the finish line to high five you. But you got to be careful. Chuck, a high five from Chuck Norris. Not everybody can handle that.
Chuck Norris really came into his prime later. I mean, Walker, Texas Ranger was great. I don't think we can argue with that. But people like him and Nicolas Cage really exploded in the era of memes.
Yeah, they exploded when they are beloved so ironically that they've created like this weird, like nobody's a real Chuck Norris fan, but because it's
some people
so
are.
hilarious.
I bet some people are. Yeah.
No, those people are all gone. They've departed.
They're all gone. They're all going to be in San Antonio, Tyson. You can meet every single one of them in San Antonio.
No, the hipsters have created these bigger, like the Chuck Norris, as soon as the Chuck Norris jokes started going, that's when he started really gathering steam. And now he's just like, the greatest thing that ever happened to Chuck Norris was a Chuck Norris joke.
The weird thing is that the same thing didn't happen to Van Damme because he was very
Too
similar
early.
to Chuck Norris.
Too early. I don't think he hung around long enough.
You think it's too early?
Hang on.
Mm-hmm. I think Van Damme, he also had to compete with Seagal. I feel like that they're sort of like in the same lane.
Yeah, Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal almost did it. Like, we hear jokes about Steven Seagal from time to time, but he just didn't quite like get over the hump of like being that hilarious.
And he moved to Russia, which is always a bad move.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see in the chat there's a question of whether the proceeds are going to charity. Yes, 100% of the Chuck Norris 5K is going to two children's charities. So good job there by Chuck Norris.
You sign up,
seriously,
they give you a
100%.
Chuck Norris shirt, they give you a Chuck Norris belt buckle, and a Chuck Norris beard or mustache or something to apply to your face to run
For
the
reals?
fight. Yes.
You get all of that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now it's a bargain, isn't it?
Now it
Guys
does
trip.
sound
Yeah.
I don't know if the beard is made out of real Chuck Norris hair.
Oh, that would
No,
be
you
great.
couldn't handle it. You couldn't. You die on the spot if you got a
you probably
transplant.
couldn't hoist it. It's
I was
too
going
heavy.
to say, yeah, he's been collecting all of his trim pubic hair from all over his body for years for this moment. And he's made so many great Chuck Norris beards.
Yeah, Chuck Norris doesn't manscape, Danny.
Yeah.
That's actually probably true.
Yeah, it
Manscaped
just
Chuck
styles
Norris.
itself, Danny. That's how Chuck Norris
You guys
is so.
see, you guys are hitting all of those Chuck Norris jokes.
That's what I'm saying. And they didn't
Nonstop.
even used to be a thing, and now they're a cultural phenomenon.
See, the thing I like about Chuck is that he takes it in stride, whereas Nicolas Cage is offended by his ironic fandom.
He
what I
is?
mean? Like, yeah, I saw an interview the other day where he was like, "I am a real actor. I take on these challenging roles."
Mhm.
And I just laughed because I had just watched like a 10-minute clip of all these weird random Nicolas Cage movie moments. And I'm like, really? Like the beekeeper one where he like punches the ladies and then it's just, he didn't like it.
Were they crying?
Morris. Yeah, you should watch his clip of like Nicolas Cage's finest moments. That's pretty good.
Okay, so the Nick Cage 1K, we're gonna cancel that
You
one.
you won't be seeing a Nicolas Cage 1K.
Okay. Let's talk about, speaking of, you can get the Chuck Norris beard, or how about a rainbow beard? Is it time to become a manicorn? Comes this question. Now, we know about the unicorn frappuccino. Danny, what about this new trend of becoming a manicorn?
I am frantically trying to pull up Manicorn here in Google.
Yeah. Okay.
Only one
I
guy's
told
become a manicorn.
Only
I don't dislike it.
I want to know if this is real.
Okay.
This is
It's as real as Broga.
Okay,
The
I'll accept that.
manicorn is a man who takes a rainbow dye to the facial hair. Now, is it possible, Danny? Is it possible that the first manicorn robbed a bank and opened up one of those bags of money and just got like the
The
paint?
dye packet
Yes.
exploded.
Like,
and covered
no,
his
I'm a
beard.
manicorn. I did not just rob a bank.
It's very possible that it's also possible he dipped his beard in his unicorn frappe. Tyson, what was it you said? Did they make it-
Frappuccino.
Frappuccino. And he just dipped his beard in, and everybody thought it was cool, and so he started this movement called Manicorn.
Yeah.
No, you got to bleach it first. That's why it doesn't work that way. Look
Mhm.
at that guy obviously bleached his beard first and then put the color in. I like the look. I think it's pretty dope. But is it really a fashion trend, or is it the Broga guys trying to get back in the?
Here,
in
let's
the
check out on Instagram. Let's look at hashtag Manicorn,
To see if more
and
than
then
one
let's see how many posts there are. That's usually the way that you could tell with one of these trends what's happening. So,
So I've discovered Manicorn in the Rice University Neol. I don't even know how to say that. Anyway, they have a definition of Manicorn: a mythical male creature who is successful, funny, intelligent, chivalrous, masculine, adventurous, artistic. So who wouldn't want to be a Manicorn?
Okay. So I have the number on Instagram of how many posts have used hashtag Manicorn. Tyson, what is your guess? How many posts have been put on Instagram, the app, with the
224.
200? Okay, Danny, would you like over or under? So you're saying under?
Yes.
Okay. 1,759.
Oh, wow.
Not a full-on epidemic, but still pretty strong.
More than Broga.
More than Broga. More than Broga.
These Broga guys, they say lightning doesn't strike twice, but it looks like they got it.
Yeah. Although not all of these Manicorn hashtags are of a man with a multicolored beard.
Are you looking at dongs?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You'll get there, I'm sure.
Not yet.
Not yet. So some of these are men dressed as unicorns in other ways, but very few of them have been men with a multicolored beard.
Okay. So you're saying that maybe they just lucked out on choosing something that was already a thing and then piggybacking off of that?
I think that men have dressed up like a unicorn before, but it seems like that very few men might be. I think they might have taken all the pictures of men that did this and put them in this article.
Yeah.
I
They
think
sure
that's the
did.
extent of it. It seems like that the over-under on men who have made the Manicorn beard seems like it's about 12 or 13.
That's not a trend by any stretch of the imagination.
These are the first Manicorns.
The first Manicorn. It sounds like a great movie.
The first
Last of the Manicorns and first of the
Yeah,
Manicorns.
the last
The year.
Manicorn. Sorry,
the first
Tom
and
Cruise.
last of the Manicorns.
Okay.
Who
All
did
right.
you say? Mel Brooks?
No, Tom Cruise.
Oh,
The
Tom
last
Cruise.
unicorn.
All right. Let's get into something that we talked about last week on the podcast. Everybody was abuzz about the two competing Fyre Festival documentaries. And we had some homework from last week that I was assigned to watch Fyre Fraud over on Hulu. Danny refused to watch any Hulu content. Danny instead watched Fyre, which was the Netflix documentary, and Tyson Apostle watched both. Has everybody completed their homework assignments?
Yes.
Okay, and now we will get
Yes.
into the spoiler section of our podcast where we are spoiling the Fyre Festival documentaries, which I'm not sure if you can spoil them.
Yeah, we all already know the outcome.
Right. Okay. All right. So, Tyson, how should we talk about this? How should we frame this discussion?
Well, I don't know. I mean, both of them. So anybody
Do you want to hear the report from Danny and then from myself, and then you can tell us who was more correct?
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, both of you guys don't have the same information I have.
Yeah. Well, we only have one movie.
Let me describe my favorite scene.
Okay.
that I think summed up.
Yeah. Give us the review of
You
the
describe your favorite scene, and then Rob will describe his favorite scene, and whichever favorite scene I deem the better of the scenes will
Yes.
then be the better
Yeah.
documentary.
Give us your review.
Okay, so this scene probably it's not a standout scene, all right, but it's early on when the festival is kind of beginning to develop. They've sold all their tickets.
Mhm.
They promoted it using the models, all the what did they say, the 10 most popular models, and they're picking up steam. And it shows them planning. They have this planning meeting where they're discussing where to put the toilets and where to put the campsite on this island. This is when they still had the private island, the Escobar Island.
Mhm.
And the man talking is, I think he's Dutch.
Yeah.
The guy who taught himself to fly.
This is a
that
lot
guy
of
wasn't
people's
in the
favorites.
Hulu one.
Oh,
This
he
is a
was.
lot of, but this is a lot of people's favorite scene from that one on the internet.
Okay, good. So people know. So the Dutch guy who taught himself to fly on Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Mhm.
that guy by himself deserves a documentary. He's there describing what's going to happen, and they're looking over the shoulder of this group of people, all the organizers, the people trying to figure it out, and they're looking at what looks to be a hand-drawn map of the island, terribly drawn, by the way, on like the backside of one of those placemats, paper placemats they use at a restaurant, and somebody spills gravy on it. And I remember that was my favorite scene because it just showed how just not prepared they were. Here they were. They didn't even have like a legitimate map of the island. They had a hand-drawn map by a Dutch pilot who taught himself to fly using Microsoft Flight Simulator. and they're going to plan this, $1 million festival, multi-million-dollar festival for all these people, provide all these things, and they can't even provide themselves with a good map. And I thought, oh, yep, that's the moment. That's the moment when everybody should have backed out.
I'll describe this to Rob. So the internet is abuzz with this guy, the Dutch guy. So he's just a pilot they found down there.
Is that Ja Rule?
No, it's not Ja Rule's not the pilot.
Okay.
It's just this Dutch guy, and they're like, they just interview him for some reason, and he was kind of like their logistics guy a little bit.
Yeah.
Until he told him it wasn't going to work, and then they fired him. But he has one scene that's like 3 sentences long where they're like, how did you come about to be down here a pilot? He's like, well, I bought a plane, and then I taught myself to fly by myself on Microsoft Simulator, which is actually very good.
Yeah.
And that is what the internet is freaking out about, is that this guy just self-taught himself how to fly an airplane on Microsoft Simulator.
Anyway, I thought the documentary, to give an overall view, was slick. It was a documentary. It was well made, a little heavy on the drone shots. I was surprised with how much footage they had of the planning up to the event itself. Like, it was amazing how much footage was shot of everybody planning, not just the promotional material at the beginning.
But that's because F. Jerry was in charge of it, so they were documenting everything already.
Well, it goes back to what Rob said about feeling like the whole thing was just a scam to make a documentary, which I think Rob brought that up. Because I'm like, how do they have this much footage? Of
Fyre Festival documentary fraud.
Yeah, exactly. Just so, a $24 million fraud. But anyways, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was kind of dumb at the beginning, but it got better as things progressed.
Okay. Now, I watched the Hulu documentary, which I think that the big selling point or anti-selling point was that they had the interview with Billy McFarland, who was sort of the main culprit behind the Fyre Festival, but they also had to pay him to do it. But he did not get a great edit, especially towards the end, that he really came across. Like, in the beginning, he was sort of like painted as like he was a guy that could make anything happen, and he was a miracle worker. But he sort of was painted as sort of like being like an idealist in the beginning to being an out and out con man by the end of it. There's one point where he wants to walk off and like, I need a break. Like, I haven't lied about anything today. And then they showed like all the things that he was lying about. So I thought that he really came across poorly
as a young Ken Lay.
Basically, that he really came across as a total, fraud and a scam artist. He felt very bad for the woman who was his girlfriend by the end of it.
Wow. Stand by your man.
Right.
Wait, stop. He had a girlfriend because I don't remember seeing.
They interviewed her. Yeah.
He met a girl since he's been prosecuted. After he got prosecuted and stuff, and she's just like, it's just so unfortunate. He's still like conning people into thinking that he's the victim.
Yeah. And so he came across not so great. There were no commercials. I know that was a concern of like how many commercials would Hulu have during that. There was no commercials during the documentary, but I did find that they used like a lot of like somebody told them, that this will be really awesome if you have like a lot of like cutaways to like pop culture references, where that they would like say something of just like as an example that they would talk about like Billy was known for making people like sign a contract and then go back against them, and then they'd like cut to like a Family Guy clip of like Stewie like looking at like, a contract. What's this about? Okay, I'll just sign it. Where I didn't need that. It was like, wait, why am I watching these clips? That they, I think they were like trying to make it like a YouTube video, but it didn't work for me, Tyson.
Yeah,
too many clips.
Now that you say that, I did notice those, but I wasn't bothered with them while I was watching. I was just like, whatever. They were whatever for me. But I think the fairer documentary was probably Hulu. Netflix did go pretty soft on F. Jerry. So on Hulu, they interview this guy who worked with F. Jerry, who pretty much was like, we knew kind of the whole time. And then he left F. Jerry. It was like his big project, like his first assignment with F. Jerry. And The Netflix one was just kind of like, F. Jerry didn't know. We were just hired to do the marketing. We didn't know anything.
Well, you had to do that if you wanted to get F. Jerry's footage, I'm sure. But I will say this. As I watched it, I thought so many people here are scammers. Billy's the biggest of all. Like, that debt app was built for Billy. Like, it would be nice to know when he's
yes, that would be perfect.
Right? You're like, boop, boop, boop. Billy is nearby, and then you can look and see if he's drinking.
Well, cause, they talked about that in the Hulu one where it was like, he's like up in this penthouse. He's in the Hamptons. He's in all these dinners. Like he screwed over all these people, and he's still like living the high life,
driving his Maserati around.
Ja also shares a lot.
Did you hear that interview? Which one was that on, where they were in a conference call about?
Yes, it's on both. Or it might be on both. But yeah, that's what I'm talking. He's like, it's not fraud. All we did was mislead people through marketing or something.
Yeah, we didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, we didn't kill anyone.
And then they all laugh about it.
Ja Rule, I don't think he ever knew what was going on.
He didn't, but he was there the whole time.
He was there.
He definitely shares responsibility for promoting something that, if he wasn't aware of watching this whole thing develop, if he wasn't aware of the dumpster fire that was, he was responsible for, then he's an idiot. Because
the best quote on
that might be so.
The best quote on the Hulu one is the man who gets up and says, "It would be funny if it wasn't so criminal, but it is criminal.
Yeah,
but still a little bit funny."
Yeah. To me, I just feel like that Ja Rule, that he's like, okay, this guy's got it all figured out. My job here is to promote. My job here is to...
Yeah, but he kept going down to the Bahamas, and he saw the firsthand the entire time.
I think he felt like that.
Are you in the pocket for Ja Rule?
Yeah.
Ja Rule?
How do you know Ja Rule, bro?
Me and Ja go way back, okay?
And there's a class action lawsuit against all of the models, everybody who helped promote it, et cetera, because they all had something to do with misleading everybody.
Yeah, I didn't agree with the models being roped in. What do they know? They go out. That's their life, is to promote products that are made in Chinese sweatshops. I mean, they don't really look into anything. They just go, let their pictures get taken, get paid.
But part of this is why now on Instagram you see paid advertisement for such and such as they're posting.
I did love that they said this festival was set up by the biggest models in the world posting an orange tile, and it was destroyed by some kid with like 20 followers posting one picture on Twitter of the cheese sandwich. I did like that. I thought that was
great.
Yeah. Overall, Tyson, would you watch more footage about the Fyre Festival, or do you feel like that need has been satiated?
I would watch more new footage I wouldn't watch the same footage over, but I would watch new footage of it because it is pretty funny. There's one comedian on Twitter that said two Fyre Festival documentaries came out this week. I'll just watch one. Or me, like 2 hours ago, I'll just watch one. Me 2 hours later, I've watched both documentaries and watched Fyre Festival footage for the rest of my life.
I'm waiting for the Sex Island Diary to be turned into a movie.
I don't think that Sex Island turned out to be a disaster, or at least that they were able to lock down the social media on it. They just had that one guy.
There was just one guy there.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that journal to be turned into a movie. I'm sure that Paramount is working on buying the rights, but it's going to be a great movie.
Or
why don't
Pornhub.
they? Why didn't somebody wear a GoPro the whole time so we could get real, actual footage instead of just?
Look at all the footage that came out of Fyre Festival.
Tons.
Like there was a ton.
Yeah, but that's because Billy was like, "Dude, you got to film this because it's gonna be epic."
But if you paid a lot more to go to the island, it seems like you would want to document. Maybe you don't want to document that.
I don't think.
Yeah, who wanted to document this? You guys are talking crazy.
I know who would. Colton Underwood, the virgin from the Bachelor.
Or the kid who won the free trip. You would think he would want to document it.
True too.
All right, hold on. As we're talking about Netflix versus Hulu, I have some breaking news at this hour.
Breaking news are happening now.
I just got an alert on my phone. Hulu dropping price to $5.99 a month after the Netflix price hike. Danny, what do you think of this move from Hulu?
It's only $1 drop for the advertisement ones, right?
Yeah, pay a little less to see more commercials. I mean, it's as bad as TV used to be 20 years ago, maybe worse, because I feel like I should have the option to skip all those commercials now because I'm in the future. Back then, they were expected. Now they're unexpected.
You're an
So every
influencer.
commercial-
You shouldn't have to watch commercials, right?
Oh, I bet Tyson loved the mention of influencers constantly in the Netflix.
So stupid
documentary.
that those guys get paid to just travel around like that.
Mhm.
I'm an influencer. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
Tyson, let's become. You could be an influencer. Let's get your Instagram popping,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you can get invited to the next Fyre Festival.
Yeah. Now, Fyre Festival 2. Do you think is the time right? The Fyre Festival has never been
They
hotter,
talked about
Tyson.
They talked about
No,
doing
but now let's talk about it. Like now, you go there, you know it's the tent, you know there's there's nothing there.
Oh, they're not going to try and improve it. They're just going to do the same thing.
It's the same. Could they get people that like would bands come now to Fyre Festival? You know it's a tent. You get a mattress when you land.
They even spray the mattress with a little bit of water.
I think
Yes.
not the same prices as they were charging people, but maybe.
I think there's Ja Rule is still gonna play.
Oh, Ja was
know.
going to play the whole time? I don't even think he was on the list to even play.
Yeah. Well, he
I don't
should.
want Ja Rule in any way associated with the next Fyre Festival.
No, he has to be there.
Him and Ashanti are going to do their duet.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Get
Chuck
Ashanti
Norris.
back in there.
Look, let's get Chuck Norris and Nicolas Cage to host the next Fyre Festival,
Oh my gosh. Then you've got something.
and we'll hand out the beards. We'll hand out
The receding hairlines for Nick Cage. What is he?
the bald caps.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a lot bigger hit. I mean, we can't charge as much,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
because we want expectations to be in the basement
But
Yeah.
there will be a bunch of avocado toast.
so much.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the Fyre Festival? Oh, Tyson.
yes.
I felt like that some of the footage for the Fyre Festival, that when they were showing like all of the influencers, they were all like, hey, like it's the day of the Fyre Festival. I can't wait to leave. Everything looked so pristine on the
Right?
camera.
What
Do you
cameras are
thi-
they
Well,
carrying?
do you think was any of the footage shot
Fake?
for the documentary? I have to feel like that some of this stuff, there was like nothing that was like shot like vertical, that was like
Right.
with an
No,
iPhone.
in Netflix they had vertical. They had
Yeah.
lots of vertical.
No, there
Netflix
was-
had some vertical,
Yeah.
but not here. There, that is true. That is a good point. Like they'd be like, "Hey, the best influencer."
Open an investigation.
Yeah, and I like the influencer that got on the plane because they were chartered planes to go to the Bahamas.
Mhm.
I liked that she got on and then complained about how the seat was even worse than the worst base economy in the world.
Yeah.
I like the guy that took out the window frame
Yeah.
on the airplane.
I
was
like the
good.
guy that was putting baby oil all over himself, that was drunk at the airport. I like that guy also.
There's definitely some good characters that I hope we get to see more of in the future.
Mhm. I hope
I
so.
you
The
can see them
sequel.
right now. They're influencers. Get on there and just start following them all.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else from the Fyre Festival? Ready to move on?
Yes, let's close this book and never
Okay.
return.
Can we create an app that tells you if a self-proclaimed influencer is within punching distance of you?
I don't think we're not advocating punching anybody.
we're
You
not
get in
advocating
trouble.
punching, but just so that you could like.
So you
daydream
know.
about it.
So you know.
Oh, here's one last fact I didn't know that I found surprising, and it's at the very beginning of the documentary. It started off as an app,
yeah.
the Fyre, which
Yeah.
was a promotional tool, kind of like that.
Cameo.
Genius
Yes,
app.
exactly.
I think the app was genius, dude.
Yeah, they should have just stuck.
They
They
should
should
have
have
stuck
stayed
with
in their
the app.
lane.
Yeah.
Stay in their lane. Okay. All right. We know what lane is coming up next. Time to switch to DBH.
Slip right in
We spent a lot of time on the Fyre Festival. I mean, should we just go right into the bolt hole?
Yeah, without a song this morning. Before you start it,
Yeah.
I've been asked by somebody to address this pullover I'm wearing.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
I live in Arizona.
Is that
so you gotta wear that.
Scandinavian?
No, it's Southwestern.
Hmm.
You got to wear Southwest print when you're in the Southwest, right?
Yeah.
Rob, if you move to Arizona, we could both be wearing these. Get rid of that plaid. Start wearing some Southwest.
You got to
print.
get some influencers talking up Arizona.
Oh, that's true. You think I should hire Bella Hadid to talk about how great Arizona is?
Yeah. Kendall Jenner, maybe.
They
Kendall
paid her.
Jenner.
By the way, they paid her. I like that in Netflix. They said $250,000 to Kendall to post that one post.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Kendall or Kylie?
Either one. Who cares?
Okay.
250 grand.
Agreed.
I wish, Tyson, isn't that worthwhile for you to become an influencer? $250,000.
Yeah, but I'm not sexy enough.
No, you're not. You're not even with those new shirts that fit you perfectly. Sorry.
Unfortunately,
I think I am.
It's kind of a downer. All right, Danny, what's in Ball's
on that
hole?
note,
Okay, Rob, I'm just going to start talking, and I'm not actually going to start the story until you play that music, because I know you're going to.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong. A nocturnal.
Tyson, you should have played the Fyre Festival.
Yeah.
oh, dude, I would have been the headliner after everybody else backed out.
Did they have
Tyson-
one band play? Did anybody
No.
play? They never. They showed everybody getting there, and then it was like sort of like then they showed everybody trying to leave.
a
They didn't.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I really don't think anybody played. I don't think
Somebody
any band
should have
showed
played.
up.
They could have just like really
Yeah.
just had the main stage for I don't know if there was a stage.
There was. They set up a stage.
They set up a
showed
stage.
video.
Yeah, somebody
They
should have
kinda-
just.
There was kind of a stage.
They could have done like open mic.
That's
What's
what they
up,
should have
Fyre Festival? Anybody alive out there?
Bring your guitar up, bro.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. All right, guys, can I move
Any
on?
scammed millennials in the house? Let me hear you.
Whoop whoop.
Mr.
Yeah,
Ja Rule is here, everybody.
Oh, he would have gotten clobbered.
RULE.
Oh, that is his song.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't know you were such a fan.
Yeah, we knew that, Tyson. That's why he was defending him so strong.
Oh, now it all is coming together,
Yeah.
making sense. Oh, Ja had nothing to do with it.
He
man.
did. He was.
I could vouch for Jaw.
Yeah,
I can vouch for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't know about loans and stuff like that. He's an artist.
Okay. All right, Rob.
Well, I mean, that's a loose term for sure.
Yeah. Look, if somebody has like a big event, it's like, oh, Tyson is going to be here. They get Tyson to come out to the event. Tyson's not like involved with like the planning and like seeing all like,
but Tyson-
let me see all your
But I wasn't a partner.
financials.
I wasn't
Yeah,
a partner.
Wasn't a partner and didn't come up with didn't conceive of it with the people promoting.
Come
it.
And then
on.
laugh about it
Come
afterwards.
on.
Exactly.
The laughing.
Can I offer all these people who got scammed some therapy?
Yes.
That's what this story is about. So
Should we play the bolt hole song again?
no,
since we
don't
got-
play it again. Yesterday I got stuck in my car in snow. I don't know, Rob. I don't know if you're familiar with snow, but there's this thing where you stay on the road that's been plowed or driven over.
Snow.
and then
That's the Canadian rapper that was going to be at
No.
Sex Island.
sometimes when the road, when you go off the road, you go into like a ditch filled with snow, which is like the worst possible scenario. Now you're stuck in the ditch. There is no getting out of the ditch. So I dug my car out to prepare for a high speed maneuver to get out of the ditch. But the ditch determines where you go. So I floored it in reverse. And as I went backwards, I couldn't leave the ditch and just started to drive through some trees with my relatively new car. And so, you know, that horrible sound of
The Mazda?
sticks, no, Subaru sticks scratching the living hell out of your car as you drive through them.
Yes, it's the worst.
So I couldn't stop or slow down because then I would be stuck in the ditch again. But listening to that sound was just awful. And the anxiety was building to a point where, honestly, I wanted to smash everything within sight. Eventually, I got my car out. And the minute I did, I got out of my car and just started screaming as loud as I could.
You just got to get that all buffed out, bro.
Yeah, well, I know it'll buff out, but at the moment, I was so mad that I could have smashed anything other than my car.
Can I ask some more follow-up questions?
Yes, go.
Is it a Subaru Armada?
No, it's an Outback. What is an Armada? Is that the truck one?
It's the big, like, 7-passenger one.
No. This is just an Outback.
When did you get it?
A year ago.
Did you throw your truck away?
No, I still have that truck. If it was my truck, I would have gone right through the trees.
So wait, now you have 3 cars? You're a 3-car family?
Well, the truck is...
Let me get on that. How much debt do you have, Danny?
No, the truck is a work car. The Subaru was used.
But it's yours? It's yours, not your family's, and you still have the Mazda.
Exactly. No, we don't have the Mazda.
What do you have?
Oh my gosh, dude. We're going off track here. Let me go back.
We're in the
Tell
ditch.
me the family car. Just tell me the family car.
It's a Highlander. A Toyota.
A lot's changed since the last I saw you, man.
Yeah, I moved up in the world. So anyway,
new cars.
The rage level was at 11.
Okay.
And there is something that we talked about a month ago about the ability to smash things. We talk about smash rooms, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, I know that they've been a thing for a while, but it turns out that in the Middle Kingdom, we're going back to the Middle Kingdom, China, they actually have what they call anger rooms.
Yeah.
Where you can go in and for 18, this is a British article from Reuters, for 18 pounds, you can spend a half an hour in the anger room smashing stuff. Now you're fully protected head to toe with protective glasses. You get a bat and they'll play the music of your choice while you just smash whatever you can find. Now they encourage that you bring your own stuff, which from a business standpoint is genius.
Yeah, I was going to say $18. How do you find $18 of stuff? Like my greatest satisfaction when I'm raging is punching a hole through something expensive before then living a week of regret, wondering how I'm going to replace the laptop I just bought.
So I'm going to convert this loosely. I'm going to guess this is probably 25 American dollars to do this.
After a full Brexit, it might be $2 American.
But it's actually doing pretty well. People come in, they vent their anger. The weird thing is in this article, it talks about these people coming in to smash things as being 16-year-olds and a younger demographic than I would expect. But the idea
16-year-olds don't know how to swing a sledgehammer.
Well, it's just like, what could they really be that frustrated about? I mean, other than sexual frustration.
Angst, lots of angst, Danny.
Yeah, lots of angst. That's different, though. This is for people who like spent the entire day at the office and they need some way to relieve all that pressure.
They need an audience there to cheer you on and give you high fives when it's all over. That is a good idea.
Anyway, their stats say they smash around 15,000 bottles every month. And
that was like 1 hour at the Fyre Festival.
If you have money, you can smash anything. They smash TVs, computers, wine bottles, furniture, mannequins, which, by the way, is a little disturbing.
But no, mannequins are creepy. You could smash them.
That is creepy. Well, yeah, but it's kind of close. But the only thing you can't do is smash someone, which is funny that the promoter said that.
Yeah. What about fruit? Can you get in on some Gallagher action?
Yeah,
watermelons.
You could run your own Gallagher gig.
It's like a waste of food, though.
It would be. But you can bring in your own stuff to smash.
Expired food?
This isn't, definitely. This isn't just an idea.
Cans would be fun to smash with a sledgehammer.
These exist in the U.S., and I definitely see a place for anger rooms in the modern world, especially for all those people who got scammed at Fyre Festival. If the Fyre Festival had provided several smash rooms, I think
we'll have them at Fyre Festival too.
Can we go a different direction with this, Danny? Here's what I'm thinking. You know how they have those axe throwing bars now?
Yes.
Why don't we do a smashing bar, where you can go in and your group of friends sits behind the protective glass and watches you smash the crap out of something, and then it's somebody else's turn while the rest of you drink and have fun.
Yeah, I like it. Do you think we get funding? I mean, what's his name got $25 million? Billy
McFarland.
Yeah, I think if we hired Billy to get us.
Here's the app. You hire celebrities to come and smash your stuff. That's where we combine all these great ideas.
Why wouldn't you hire a celebrity that you want to do the smashing? So you go with your group of friends to the smash bar.
Yeah. Okay. Well, wouldn't you rather see Smash Mouth smash your stuff?
No. Maybe Ja Rule.
I wouldn't want him to see him smash my stuff, but I wouldn't mind seeing them smash some other people's stuff or their stuff. But I also want to smash stuff.
They have a story here, Jin does, of a woman who brought in all her wedding photos and just smashed them to pieces.
Smash photos?
Well, probably in their picture frames. Yeah, photos aren't going to be satisfying on their own.
Was she getting a divorce?
Yeah, it sounds like it. How about bring in your gender reveal cakes and other gender reveal items, and I'll smash them out of rage for gender reveals.
Okay, I kind of would like that.
I just feel like there's a place for this. I think everybody loves smashing stuff.
Yeah.
And without the ability to sack a city, which is usually how males would vent their, or get their smashing out of the way.
Yeah.
This is how you do it in the modern world.
Yeah, maybe as more and more malls close, maybe there'll be more retail space available for this, Danny.
Actually, you just came up with a great idea. When a mall closes, you bring in all these people who pay X amount to go through the mall and just smash it.
Yeah, instead of hiring a demolition crew, it's just people
Exactly.
pay you.
Exactly. So before they blow it up, people pay maybe $100 and they just go through and they can smash whatever they want.
And recycling centers too. People turn in their recycling for glass and stuff. Then they put it up in these rooms, and then you can go smash that because they're just going to sweep it into the recycling machine anyways.
Okay.
Yep.
See?
All right.
Twofer.
Okay. Anything else in the bolt hole, Danny?
No.
Nothing lodged up deep up in there.
I just
Nothing.
got it out.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Tyson, anything else you want to talk about AF related?
News AF related. Let's see.
The Group AF really has been on fire lately.
Yeah,
and
do they
not like
like-
Fyre Festival. That we made some modifications. We changed up the group where there was a couple things going on where we changed the posting to that we have to approve your post, submit whatever you want. We'll approve one because we get a lot of people see a story that screams News AF and they send it in. So now we got that going. That seems to be working. I think that submissions are up, except for one guy that said that the group is like Nazi Germany now.
Yeah.
But
well,
I'm
and
pretty sure it's not like that.
make Nazi.
let that be. No, you can't make Nazi jokes.
One guy did, and then he really got his
Whenever you make a comparison,
his ass handed to him.
whenever someone compares something to Nazi Germany, I automatically assume they know nothing.
He said he was joking,
about
but it's unclear. It's unclear.
Listen, this group is a small sample of why we have to have government, but why also government doesn't work.
Yeah. Also, we closed the group because then it also turned out that people were realized that they would share like a News AF story about something with oh, hey, here's a new development in the field of sex robots, and then their parents were like, oh, that's a cool story. So now we made it a closed group so people can comment and share posts that they don't have to worry
Not feeling
about anybody
shame.
else. Yeah.
For their interests.
Billy, why are you so interested in sex robots?
Not, it's Danny, that is.
Yeah.
Here's a review that I think we should pay some attention to today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Life Advice, 5 stars by Millennial Mike.
Yes.
Was just listening to the March 26th, 2018 News AF episode. You're a little behind, Mike. And Tyson promised life advice if you leave an iTunes review. So here we go. Tyson, I've been dating a beautiful girl for about a month now. She's beautiful, smart, funny, everything I could ask for. The catch is she has dragon breath. Oh, God.
Who has dragon breath?
What is
This girl that he's dating. Sometimes I don't notice it, but sometimes she opens her mouth and it literally smells like the dirty sewage butt cheek.
Okay.
I like her a lot, but if we're going to move forward, I need a creative, nice way to tell her.
Yeah.
Can you help? Also, why hasn't anyone told her? Her own mother, sister, friends, dentist. Is everyone living a lie to this girl?
That's a good point.
Oh, Millennial Mike, that is tough, dude.
I didn't even know we had a millennial Mike.
We do.
Yeah.
This is tough because I have a friend who also has a case of the halitosis.
Is it me?
That's the thing. Nobody knows who it is. And I've said this, and all my friends listening are going to be like, who is it? Is it me? Is it me? And also, I don't know. Maybe my breath is stinky too because nobody tells me.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what have you just offered her gum? What is she eating that's making it stink like this? Maybe this is what I think you do. I think you go in. Is there like a specialist that can help with breath stuff? Like if there is, you go in and get it done and be like, oh, cool. This is what they did. You should get it done too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Lead by example.
Lead by example.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise you just gotta always keep her on the tic-tac.
So it's like you like break out like a bottle of Scope, and it's like, all right, hey, I'll do like, hey, you want? Hey, I got one for me, one for you, right?
No.
Here's what you do: you sign her up for that Coffin video viewing because inside the coffin, it's going to eventually start to stink pretty bad.
You don't smell your own breath.
No, you can. You can. When my breath is really bad in the morning.
Yeah, when it's really bad. But if it was really bad all the time,
it's really bad. Oh, yeah. You maybe should just become accustomed to it.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I will say this: I had a flight instructor who had halitosis, and we sat.
Yes, right when you were learning how to fly using Microsoft.
Yeah,
we sat right next to each other, and in a closed environment. Every flight,
How did you address it?
Every flight, and he never took it. He would be like, "Oh no, thank you," and then it's like, what could I do after that? You know, like, no, you should take this gum. I'm not Larry David. I can't push the point, so I would just like retreat and put the gum back in my pocket.
That's hard because like Rachel and I are to the point where we can probably tell each other if our breaths are stinky.
Oh, I tell Liz.
Yeah, for sure. But how do you reach that point with this beautiful, smart, funny, everything he could ask for woman before she's just like, well, screw you. Yeah. You know?
I told my wife that when we were dating that she had bad breath one time. I think it was in 2004. And she's still like, oh, like that time you said that I had bad breath?
Do I have bad breath? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the tough thing. Millennial Mike, man, I didn't think I was going to get such a tough...
Maybe pay off a sibling to break the news.
No,
that's a good idea.
Get worse breath and then like eat garlic and then make your breath worse. So she says something to you and then you guys, then she brought, I was like, well, like, well, let's both do something about it then.
How about a breathervention?
Breathervention.
Man.
An intervention of breath.
Yes. Make up a troll account on social media and then and then like with an egg profile like, hey, you have dragon breath, and then I bet nobody wants to hear a secret from you because your breath is so bad. And then
how about dragon breath also work for dirty sewage butt cheese breath?
I think so.
I'm considering starting up a mouthwash or bubble gum company.
Yeah.
Would you like to try some of my samples?
Oh no! Just have this podcast play when she's in the room.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just listen.
Done,
yeah.
Rob.
I mean, turn it off before this part. Right. Like these guys. What are they talking about? They're crazy.
Yeah.
Look, everybody should check their breath and be open to having somebody say, and I'm saying this for the benefit of Mike, if he is.
And out of love,
be willing to accept the fact that all of us have stinky breath. And if you do,
sometimes,
we should all pop some gum or get the surgery necessary to reduce it for the sake of society.
Yeah. Because I think that sometimes it can be a symptom of another issue that's going on, not necessarily that you didn't brush your teeth.
Food.
Tonsil stones.
I don't know. Something.
Maybe you could look up all the things diet-wise that improve your breath odor and only start eating those. Like you go out and she's like, oh, I want to get the pizza with extra spicy Italian sausage and stinky cheese.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't we just have a plate full of cilantro?
Or in the middle of the night, just move to a different place, different state, change your name.
Just ghost her?
Start over.
But he's not at a point where he has to ghost her yet. He was wanting to move forward with her if he can get this breath under.
I'm just offering, that's at the extreme end of the solutions. But yeah, starting a new life somewhere else with a new name is a solution.
All right. Great note to end on.
Wait, I'm sorry, Mike. I don't have a good answer for you.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Got to a lot of stuff.
I would be better at this.
Okay. All right. Lots of fun to be back here with you guys live here today. We will be back next week to talk about all of the big stories going on in the world of News AF. If you want to be a part of our Facebook group, you can apply. Find us Group AF on Facebook to be
apply, and you will get accepted.
To be in our exclusive Facebook group where we know that we don't just let the public in.
Correct. But anybody who applies, we will let in.
Yeah, unless you are a bot or if you come in immediately and promote your own podcast.
Anybody who listens to this and applies, we will let in.
And then doesn't just come in and promote their own podcast.
Well, I'm assuming if you're listening to this, then
You
you're
have
listening.
a podcast.
Yes, sure.
Yes.
I think we're on the same page here.
We're on the same page. All right. Thanks so much to Scott St. Pierre putting this all together. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.
Okay. All right. All right. So I keep recording. I have an ad that we need to record.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hit record again.
Okay. That's okay. Well, we can just I think go with the what I'm recording here in the Hangout. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to keep the stream on for this?
I'm
Sure.
streaming.
Yeah, they'll like
hard
it.
and
Yeah, because
fast.
then they can't complain of like, oh, this is like Hulu. Okay, all right. We're going to talk about Skillshare. Skillshare is going to teach people about a bunch of courses. Okay.
What if I don't have any skills to share?
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to skill.
They're
You're
sharing
learning.
skills.
Yeah, they're sharing their skills with you.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So they've got a great offer: 2 months of unlimited courses for free when you sign up with Skillshare. Okay. I want to take a moment and thank a sponsor for this episode of the podcast. Those are our friends over at Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with over 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. You'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, your creativity, and even your career. You could take classes in social media marketing, mobile photography, creative writing, or even illustration. Whether you're looking to discover a new passion, start a side hustle, or gain new professional skills, Skillshare is there to help you keep learning, thriving, and reaching those New Year's goals. They've got a great offer right now for our listeners that you can get 2 months of unlimited classes for free on Skillshare when you go to Skillshare.com/RHAP. You know, it used to be, Danny, if you wanted to learn something, you had to like learn how to go and fly a plane. You had to wait for buy some expensive, Microsoft programs to be able to do it. Skillshare is great because you can go on and watch a bunch of video courses taught by people who are professionals in the field. I love stuff like this.
Yeah. Do they have a course on how to listen to my wife?
How you want to be able to follow her instructions better, be a better listener. I'm sure that a lot of these I think are more geared towards being a professional, learning things like being on social media. Tyson, if you want to fulfill your dream of being an influencer finally, then this could be the way for you to go. I did watch a class on how to use Instagram better, and I did learn how to put links in an Instagram story. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I just learned how to do that too, but I don't do it very often.
Yeah, well, you could find out exactly how to do it and check that all out on Skillshare. Join the millions of students who are already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer for our listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's right. Skillshare is offering Robin's podcast listeners 2 months of unlimited access to over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/RHAP. Again, that's Skillshare.com/RHAP to start your 2 months now at Skillshare.com/RHAP.
I'm going to film this and then put a link in my Instagram story.
Yeah.
We're doing the podcast. Danny Bryson and Rob Sesternino. We're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Danny Bryson
You know,
and Rob
now that I
Sesternino.
think of it, the class that I watched of social media stardom making the most of Instagram was taught by instructor Lolo Jones.
Yeah, dang it! I forgot to put the link in. Forgot to put the News AF link in my story.
I'm one
How
of
do
the
I
10
erase it?
athletes that have competed in a summer and winter Olympic Games. I originally started social media just as a way to interact with my fans.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I watched a class with
Lolo Jones?
Lolo Jones, 10-time or one of 10 people have been in the hurdles and the bobsled.
Yeah.
And she's 36 years old, and she is waiting to meet that special someone.
Oh, okay.
She knows how to Instagram.
A lot of information that still doesn't really tell me who she is, I guess.
She's an Olympic athlete, Lolo.
Yeah.
On Celebrity
okay.
Big Brother, too.
All right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. I'm gonna cut the feed. Thanks you guys so much for watching. We'll be back next week. What, on Tuesday?
Yes.
That sound right?
Tuesday
Okay.
AF.
All right. Tuesday AF. All right.